All right. Okie dokie. Almost there. I didn't want all of that. Good grief. I didn't want that. Alright, let's try it again. Oh, this is not good. Let's go here. Bear with me a second. Anyway, while I'm waiting for things to do what they do here. What I got on the lower right hand side is burnt umber, sap green, cad yellow, titanium white. I believe that would be Prussian blue. And way back here in Lonely Land off of camera is a little bit of black. All right, okay. Excuse me. All right, looks like I got a little bit of issue here with my slow tablet, but it'll get there. What is this? I think this is 14 by 16 canvas panel. You see a light sketch there, and trying to get everything straight here. The finished painting won't look anything, it won't be this open looking, but everything will pretty much be in place. So once again, give me a second or two. Like I said, I gotta wait for this thing to kind of do what it does. It's playing catch up. All right, I'm gonna attempt to do this once again without glycerin. I'll just use water. Now, I did use an authentic charcoal pencil for this, so when I put the water on, it might wash away, but that's okay. So we'll see how things go. I'll get started while the PC's trying to wake up, or the tablet. It's an old guy. And I'll come right from the bottom and just gently soak the surface with a little bit of water. Okay. All right. Let's get a little titanium white. And we're going to go right down below here and go upward. The pencil marks that still show through. Okay. We're going to get a little bit of yellow. I'm going to pop that yellow right around in here. Just kind of do one of these numbers. Let's get a little bit of white. We'll brighten that yellow right up in the sky area, right up in around in here. Okay. All right. Shade. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm calling out people and I got the wrong window open. Oh my God. My bad. Let's put the correct one up there. The tablet I got is dreadfully slow, so you're gonna have to bear with me a few seconds. I'll throw some blue right up here on the top. A little lighter than that. I want some interesting contrast, so I have to lighten that up a little. Obviously, blue and yellow will make green, but we'll fix that. You're not going to be able to tell by the time it's... Hello, Sonia. Madonna, hello. Lucky Dog, hey. Welcome. Fatima, how are you? You're not going to be able to tell when it's all said and done. I'm just going to take a little tad of white. We'll put it in between. Build a little buffer in between these two. Right up in here. It's all right. Okay. I'm going to just wipe my brush off on the towel. And we'll fade that into the yellow real slick. See, the white will kill it from turning totally green, so we're pretty much safe there. And we're just gonna blend this a little bit, just like that. Once again, just using water, no glycerin, anything of that nature. And you see where the water line ends, all right? No big deal, make it go away, it's all right. I still see faint images of the mountain here, which is fine. But we're working pretty much with the clouds. Okay, all right, that's enough of that. Let's take, I'll use a different brush for it. I want a cloud bottom. Let's take some brown. We'll dip it out here. A little touch of blue in that brown. We'll kind of gray it out like that. Some really deep contrast there. If I need a little more, I'll scrounge up a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna come out here. I think I want the bottom of said cloud to be around in here somewhere. Something like that, all right? And then we'll just kind of roll this stuff around like this. Once again, like something a little light and airy in that direction there. Okay. We're going to take a fan brush, particularly one with a little lighter. I'll use this one. I'll use a little bit lighter. I'll come here, add a little bit of blue to the white here. Okay. I'll probably need a little more of this paint, but we'll see. We'll just tint it with a little bit of blue for right now. We're going to come up here and we're just going to kind of play around just like this. Come up top. Get some more white. I'm gonna have to be a little bit quick with this because whatever bit of water that is in here is just gonna go away. We're gonna marry those edges together there, but something like that. All right, okay. Clean off the fan brush real fast. Usually when you're doing something like this, you're gonna have to work once again with a little briskly. And really, I want to kind of soften those edges here. Marry those in there. And I will. Okay. And we'll lightly, very lightly, we'll just kind of blend these guys in a little bit. And we're going to get a brush, and we'll kind of fluff this stuff very lightly. I want to keep some of the sky up in there, okay, but you can lightly just kind of play around with it. See, you don't really see me do too many of these type of clouds, but I can do them. I just don't think about it at the time, and it's not really on my mind really at that time, you know. But I can do them. I just don't usually. Let's take we'll take a hake brush, something really airy, very light, and we'll just kind of lightly blend that. I still want to keep some of the activity going in there, so very lightly. Something like that, all right? So already you got a sense of depth, and we didn't really put anything in here, but you already got a sense of what's going on. All right, okay. Now, we'll take the same soft-haired fan brush. I'm not too particularly picky about which one it is, as long as the hairs are pretty soft. We're gonna go right into a little touch of white and a little touch of yellow in that white, but a little more white than the yellow. And we'll just play around with a few things. Here, I should wait for it to dry just a little bit, really, before I delve into it like that. But we'll play in here. We'll tease a little bit of something happening right in here. Okay, just for right now. And I'll just continue to use this brush. I'll just fade it with this brush. We'll travel it around a little bit. Some light semblance of some cloud action going on. You don't really see it too strong yet. You need some more white. But it is in there. The reason why you don't see it too well is because of the yellow mixed in with that white. But it's fine, it's okay. We'll do it again. I'll just use white this time. And something like that. I'll clean off the brush real fast before the paint dries up there. You only have a little while to do this, okay? And we'll just lightly, briskly just kind of fade it. I'm going gently left to right, actually, to get a nice rolling motion with the clouds, okay? No flowers today, just typical little woodland scene, typical landscape-ish type thing going on here. I'm not using any glycerin, it's just pure water today. Okay. Now, still establishing a little bit of depth. Okay. Much like that. I'm going to take a little bit of white and we'll play around with a little bit of love right up in here like this. Like some kind of floating little cloud that just don't want to leave anybody alone. He wants to interrupt stuff, so he's just in here. And I'll just twirl the edges a little bit. Okay. So you got something in front, appears to be in front of this cloud. See? Just that quick. All right. All right. I'm going to take a flat brush. I'll use the 3/4 inch brush. I never put away. We'll use this one. I want to get just take care of the mountains real quick here. All right. All right. Oh, let's try something a little different with the mountains today. Okay, let's try. Well, we'll do it in black because it's just easier to kind of flesh out the mountain this way. So I'll take a little bit of black, not much water. All right. And we're gonna just get a nice rough indication of some mountains. Like I said, I can still see shaded bits of where I want to go with the mountain. Okay. It's really the edge you really want to block the edge in real good. The outside edge, make it very sharp. Something like that. Okay. I should actually just have it a little higher. Something like that. And I'll block it in. It's all good. I'll take the rest of this black here. I'll come out here and I'll just shell this a little bit. Bring that dip here. Go straight across. Bring it back up. And we'll just lost and found type of thing for the cliffs here. I might have the cliff be all green, we'll see. And just block it in. Like I say, we're going to do something different with the mountains, but I'm just blocking it. You don't necessarily have to use black. I'm just using black for the sake of time. I'm putting a little bit of water in the rest of this black. I'm going to end up using some more black. I wouldn't necessarily use black. I would, if you could use a darker brown or whatever, depending on what type of mountains you want. Okay. Once again, I'm just using black as a nice little substitute, and I'll just cover stuff quickly, and it dries rather fast. My tablet. I have my tablet on the left-hand side so I can read your chat, but this tablet is kind of long in the tooth and old technology. I do have newer tablets. They're over on the other side. I might will use that. They're a little more up to date. Well, this one here is just hurting my feelings right now. I might have to switch to one of the phones to see what you guys are saying. Okay, but we've blocked in the mountains right now. But once again, there's something I want to do with these mountains. And if you notice, I'm working from the back towards the front. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm having a little issue with the tablet. I'm gonna have to go to my phone. So we'll just get rid of this. It's not gonna act right. All right, we'll just go to the phone. The phone's a lot faster, a lot better. There you guys are. Hello, Rosemary, Lucky. All right, there we are. Okay. Let's zoom in on the mountains for a second. And we're pretty much in focus still, so that's cool. All right. So we have these guys blocked in. And it's almost dry, it's getting there. But let's say you want to have your mountains a little more on the brown side, and maybe the black is the shadow. All right, cool. As you can see, we do have our brown here. Let's see if I can get rid of this. If it's not too dry and too much of a hassle, I should be able to scrape it away. Nah, it's too much of a hassle. I have to use the razor blade. The razor blade to just get it right up there. I just want a nice clean surface here to mess around. Okay. And once again, I got a large plastic bag. I just wipe the stuff off on the bag, then wipe the excess off on my beach towel, put the razor blade back up. All right. Let's say, once again, I'll use a palette knife. We want more of a brown mountain. So we want the brown to kind of stick out, but we're going to utilize the black here. So once again, it's more of a lost and found type of thing going on. All right. Okay. We'll lighten up the brown a little bit. I'll just do it this way. You guys should be able to see this. I had to use a razor blade on the palette knife also because it just had paint built up on it. Okay, this will be fine for a rock color, I guess. I mean, I could gray it out, but it won't be necessary. I'll just use this. Okay, as you see, I'm doing the little tap method, and you can see down below, you see the little build up there. That's a perfect shot of it. Okay. All right, and what I'm going to do, I'll just show it to you here, is I tap and drag as I tap, and it gives me those interesting little edges. Now I'm doing this on glass, so it's gonna appear to be smoother. Okay, not as rough, but that's basically the idea. Okay, once again, very easy to do. It just takes a bit of paint. All right, let's come up here. Okay, all right, I'll just pick a spot of where I want. Since the brightness is actually behind the mountain, it really doesn't matter what's the light and the dark side since the sun is behind the mountain. All right, so it's almost essentially backlit. Okay, so I can pretty much go in any direction. So I'll start from here, this little peak right here. I'll start from the middle, and nice little tap, and I'll come up around here, and I'm just tapping until it all kind of goes away a little bit. I'll borrow some, bring it down. A couple of the taps. Well, we'll just continue it downward like that. Okay. Like I said, I want to utilize the black a little bit. Just come here, and we'll kind of go right from the top, tap, and give it a little pull. You'll know when the paint is going off the palette knife because you'll tap and there won't be anything there. Sure, sure. Yes, you can use glycerin if you need a little more time to paint. Yes, you most certainly can. I just choose not to because, once again, it's the sake of time and showing you that you can paint a painting without really it's acrylic paint. You can use water. It's not like I don't have glycerin. I got glycerin right below me. I just choose not to use it right now. Every once in a while I'll do that. I'll just do paintings without the glycerin. I did the florals without the glycerin. Okay. But as you can see, the mountain's starting to come together here. But it's a lost and found type of thing. Okay. You see the highlights and you see the black at the shaded areas. Okay. We'll come here. We'll get too close to the peak here. And we'll just kind of tap around. Now when you do the tapping like this, what I'm doing really is, it's called incidentals, okay? Meaning, I'm just borrowing some from over here. And drag some of that around. Is that you can guide these taps, but you don't really know what it's gonna look like. But you can guide the placement, but you don't know the effect. So they're called incidentals. All right. Okay. We'll just keep it moving here. I'll explain while I'm doing all of this. So you got the bulk of the color list, which was really helping you is all of this here. Okay, it looks like it's just kind of fading into the black there. The light isn't really catching it all the way. All right, so that's basically what's going on there. I'm scraping off a little bit here because I really don't need too much. And maybe I want a little something kind of peeking and saying hello right in this area. Okay, so it's like it's just catching whatever right up in there. It's fairly deep and dark in there, which is cool. I don't necessarily have to add highlights because it's not really the focal point. All right, we got a waterfall working here. Okay, I'm still debating whether I want green here or different rocks. We'll see, don't know yet. Okay, but I do like the mountains being a little mysterious looking the way they're looking right now. So I really don't have to add too many highlights to it because there's going to be things in front of it, so they can pretty much stay back there looking pretty much like that. Okay, all right. So we're pretty much all right with that. That's cool. Oh, all right. My camera, it's just the way the camera's made. It's a little stiff, but it's cool. I would rather have it stiff like that than really fight with it all the time. I'm trying to keep it level. But okay, we're good there. We're still in focus. Basically, because I see countless videos at times, and the camera's kind of crooked or it's twisted and turned, it really distorts the view of what you're seeing, and I want you to really see what it looks like head on. Okay, which is why I got it positioned the way I do. Okay. All right. So we've taken care of that more or less so far. All right. I could add a little mist or fog in there if I desire to. I don't know if I really want to do that as of yet. With mist or fog, I can either do it now or I can do it after I put whatever I want to put in here. All right, so I do have that option. All right, let's move on. I'll take, it really doesn't matter what brush I take. Really, it's just to block in the water here. So I'll use a touch of blue, a little bit of brown. We'll gray it up a little bit like that. Okay, now if I added white to this, it would definitely look gray, very cool gray. All right, we'll put the waterfall right in here. We'll just block it in. Block it right up in here. I'm gonna get a little bit of water We'll put it in there. It just loosens up the paint. All of this is heavy body paint. And we're really just blocking in the water. It doesn't have to be super pretty. You're just blocking it in right now. Everything starts off being blocked in. Okay. Not the most appealing looking thing, but this is how you start it off. All right. So we'll just let that dry. All right. Oh, you have a tent, Sleet Stacks? How are you? Good to see you. Okie dokie. I'm still deciding whether grass or rocks. Maybe, who knows? Until I decide, we're just gonna block it in anyway. I don't have much black, therefore I'll go with the blue. We'll put it right here. Blue, a little bit of brown, mix it in there. Now, the color you get depends on really on the type of blue you have. This is a very dark blue. Let's add a little bit of white. Watch what happens. Okay, see that nice cool gray that happens? Okay. That's a nice cool gray. Do I got anything left here? I have nothing. I want to show you something. Well, in the invisible area where you don't really see much, I did another drop of black. I'm gonna just use my finger. A little bit of black right here. You guys can see that. Use my finger, a little bit of white, and mix it in there. Okay, there's your normal, everyday, neutral gray. All right, now look at the color difference. Okay, but yet they're both gray. Okay, there's your typical neutral gray, and this is a cool gray. Follow me? Okay, okie dokie. So once again, we'll block this in. I'll use a little water. Loosen up the paint just a little bit. Once again, we'll just block it in. At this stage, it could be either grass or rocks or whatever. At this point, I don't know yet. I'm still deciding as I'm doing this. Always go a little bit above your little point. Go above your line there just to cover it up. That's all. Block it all in. Once again, this is all dry. We're doing wet on dry here. Okay, and get a little more brown, a little more blue. Pop it in there. Get a touch of white. Pop it in there. Okay, that's probably a little lighter than what I have on there. So we'll add a little more blue, touch more brown. We'll darken that up a little. Okay, get a little bit of water, just wet it up a little bit. All right, and we shall continue on with the love right down in here. Now I know it is the same color as the waterfall. It's all right. I know how wide the waterfall is, so it's okay. We'll separate all of that. Down below here, I can have them just be rocks or grass or whatever I want here. I'm deciding. Put a little peak there. Make it at least look rock-like. If I'm going to just do it with rocks, who knows yet. But there's going to be all sorts of stuff going on here. Okay, so we just block in that half. We'll come up here. And once again, we're just blocking things in. I'm using water, no glycerin. So as I'm scumbling all of this in, it's going to dry rather quickly. Okay. I'm just getting some more color. Blue, a little more brown, mix it in there. A touch of white, pop it in there. And mix it in there pretty good. Okay, get a little water, loosen it up a bit. And we shall continue on with the festivities here. Once again, I know where I don't have to have it down below be exactly super perfect. It doesn't matter. We'll block all of that in and straighten it up when we get there. I'm still deciding whether I want either grass here or just rocks. Still deciding. Okay, so we've blocked that in. Let's get a little bit of blue, a little bit of black. I didn't clean the brush, it doesn't matter. There we go. Okay, we'll just use this. We'll come here and we'll kind of different color there. Differentiate what we got going on there for the water. You know, the water's right here. All right. Travel Dreamer says boulders. All right, well then we'll do boulders. She's the one that spoke up, so that's what I'll do. I'll do boulders. No problem. We'll flesh out the boulders. We'll flesh out the boulders here. I should use a filbert. I would prefer to use the filbert brush for the boulders. I'm just trying to find where I place the filbert brush. I do have it around here, so I'm looking right at it. There we are. Is that you? Yeah, but I don't want you. I'll just use this. All right, let's get the paint knife. We'll just utilize what we have here for the boulder color. Let's get a little bit of blue in there. So we'll just mix this up. Pop in some brown. Okay, now we got a nice concentration of green because of the type of brown that we have. We got that green going on, but that's all right. Get a small touch of black. Okay, we're just gonna darken what we have here. It's not gonna turn it black, it's just gonna turn what we have just a darker pigmentation of what we got going on there. All right. Now because of that black in there, we add the white. It's gonna turn kind of a funky green color there. So now that I got this weird greeny thing going on, okay, I have to introduce another color. I have to introduce the color opposite to that, which would be red. I'm not gonna add too much red to it. Now, once I add red to this, that should be enough, more or less. Yes, I have the brush in my mouth. We add a little touch of red to this. Okay, now we add the red to it. As you can see, it's starting to turn that funky kind of purplish, but it's going to turn into essentially a very warm gray because of that red. All right. But check it out, look at it, and look at that. Okay. But you see the type of, here, once again, white, a little bit of black, we'll mix it. And you see the difference in the colors. And on the grayscale, it's almost the same hue, but as you can see the differences, warm. And this is definitely just a neutral gray. Okay, all right. Okay, let's sketch out some boulders real quick. I'll get a little bit of water to loosen up the paint here. All right. Okay. Well, before we do that, let me do this real fast. Let's just take a small brush, get a little touch of blue, a little touch of white, just like that, and we'll just pop that right in here. We'll just pop that waterfall in there real fast. Now with the waterfall, you can curve it a little bit if you want, but it's pretty much right there and go straight down. I'm gonna just go straight down for this waterfall right here. Just get some more. Don't get rid of all the gray down there. Let it hang out. Let it do what it do. Okay. Just have a little bit of white. Okay. Now we established pretty much where the waterfall is. We'll start popping boulders in there. I'll kind of start to put them in there like this. Put a couple small ones in there like that. Come here. Come up around here. Bring some of that right over the falls there. Pushes the water back a little bit there. Okay. Get some more. We're going to establish obviously light and shade during all of this. It's okay. And you'll see it. And this will take a different color as it dries. It just sets darker. That's what acrylic paint does. Technically, I'm supposed to be working on that book, and I haven't worked on it yet, but I will. Eventually, I will. All right, let's get some more of this greeny stuff. Pop some red in there. Mix it. See that? Okay. All right, little touch of black, just a little touch. It'll kill some of that red. Just like that. We're gonna come on the other side. And we'll do it here. We'll add a little love up in here like this, and we'll have it jet out here like that. Come on in. You'll see how easy it is to form these boulders. You do them, you be free with it. Don't be so intimidated. Okay, you pretty much just go where your little heart desires with it. Okay. I'm scumbling it and I'm rubbing it all in there. Right up in here a little bit. We're gonna establish our lights and darks as we do this. You'll see. Okay. Definitely doesn't look like boulders, but it will. How's your wrist, Sonya? Not enough white. I could use mixing white at this point, but I'll just stick with the titanium white here. A little bit of white. Mix it in real fast. And as you can see, look at that color for gray. Okay. And all I did was mix white in with it. Let's take this. We'll spread it out like that. All right. I'll take a smaller palette knife. A little wipe across, just like that. Okay. But you got to see what's on there. See? All right. Okay. Once again, we'll decide on, well, we already kind of know where the direction's headed, so it'll be lit on the right hand side. It's wet, but it's drying by the second. Okay. Now when you put paint on your board, you don't really see it, but it's there. You're adding a layer. If this is the board, if my hand's the board, I'll put it this way. And you got that paint on there, like that. And then you're gonna put other paint on there, slide across that because it's not smooth. That's how you get the textures going on. Okay. Same premise with the highlighting. All right. You take your hand, okay, and you stir it like a car with your thumb. All right. Don't do it like this. If you do it like this, you have a tendency up. There we go. You have the tendency to bend down with your weight of your finger. Okay. You want to kind of stir it around. All right. Okay. So we'll get our little boulder things going on. Now, it's going to take practice to try to judge where your paint is in relation to the bottom of this blade. Okay. But once you get it, do it very lightly. Don't press too hard. Okay. Once you get it though, you'll be all right. Okay. You'll be good. It starts off just like that. And we'll do that a number of times. Okay. See if I can do this foam wire, just wrap it around so it gets out of my way here. Okay, we'll come here and we'll kind of do a little curve like so. All right. So let's pop one right in there like this. Have it kind of join. We'll come here, add a little love right in there like that. You can be as detailed as you would like. All up to you. You can shape them how you like. Okay. You can kind of wiggle it around like this. Just try not to press too hard. Try not to. Come over here on the edge and bring it on around. Angle your knife. Now, look at the way these rocks are formed using the palette knife. Now, I use the palette knife, obviously, for the mountains up above, but I did a tapping method, okay? So you can see the different looks, all right? Come up here, come that way, take it, kind of rub it around in here. If you're going to run out, once again, don't panic. I'm scraping a little bit off if I went a little too heavy. It's all right. Come on here. Turn it around. Bring that out that way. You can shape these guys any way you want. You can have them connect if you will like. Okay. And as you see, I'm not getting rid of that gray. And not even getting rid of the greenish color there. But I'm gonna show you something with this as I do this. Okay. One of the advantages of working in acrylic, you can add all sorts of effects to it. Right up under here. So I'm not really concerned about light and shade as of yet. But we're going to show you something pretty cool. We still got some more of this greenish color here. Okay. Add a touch of white to it. A little bit of black. And mix it right in. There we go. See, getting back to that gray. This would be fine. I'll just spread it up just like that. Okay, wipe it off. Nice wipe of paint there. Okay. All right. We're gonna come up on this side. Remember, the light is coming from the right hand side. So you know, you keep that in mind. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give a playful little tap here to see where I'm at with the. There we are. That's a little. Seems to be a little darker. So add a little touch of white to it. Don't necessarily have to be as perfect. It's up to you, but I want to be a little stickler today, so we'll brighten it up just a little bit. And spread it back out again. That's a little better. That's a little bit better. If you go heavy-handed, you got a big swath of paint, you just rough up the edges. Come on, that way. See that? Those little granular looks there. That's how you break up that paint. All right. I'm still starting on the extreme right-hand side and going toward the left. Okay. So there's always a little method to my madness. Bring some of that, bring it toward this way. Right up in here. Right off the page. All right. Let's bring some of that way. Get a little more. See, now I only got such a little spot of this left. I really don't have to too crazy with it. Little touch of white in there, just to brighten it up a little bit. See what we got here. Yes, that's fair. Now, when you get that little smooth, obviously it looks kind of like a stroke there. You can rough those edges out. Pretty much like the clouds. Rough them up a little bit. Okay. All right. Rough it up. All right. Let's take some, I guess for this part, we'll brighten it up a little bit. We'll take a little bit of this gray, add more white than the gray. Don't necessarily have to. Hey Bill, how you doing? You don't necessarily have to blend it totally. And the brighter the highlight, the less of it you need. You got me. Now this is just gonna put this out front even more. Okay. And you don't need too much. Now you have a layer of paint on top of a layer of paint. Okay. And so it's a very light touch. You know, as a certain Mr. Ross would say, it'll take what I want and give you back the rest. And he's pretty much correct. Come right up in here. Bring it out there like that. Come up in here like this. Very directional. So if you stick to the left-hand side or right-hand side, right, you pretty much don't have to really work as hard. Yeah, I'm just really just wiping it right across. You can really have them connect. Okay. We'll just have it connect here. Come on down. Turn it around there. We're all right there. Spread it out. Get some more. Once again, more or less on the right-hand side. Turn it around there. But come out here like this. Yeah, that's cool. Rough it up a little bit there. I want my rocks a little on the craggy side, so. It's your preference how you want to do it. Really up to you. Take a little more white and gray. That's fine. That's too thick. Just spread that out really thin there. Get a nice thin band. And we'll play around right in here and kind of. I think that would be okay. And you're going to see once it dries what I'm going to do here. Okay. All right. Let's go back to playing with that water. Let's take a fan brush. I'm just going to take a fan brush, use the top part. Okay. And we're just going to kind of straight down, straight down. Hit something off of here. And right, and we'll add a little activity in there. We'll take some paint and we'll get some little dot things going on there. And it's just giving you a little bit of movement. Pop some splashes in there a little bit. Come out here a little bit. Don't get rid of all your dark. Relay some movement in there. I'm gonna leave it just like that. All right. Let's take a, we'll take a small flat brush, something like this, a little hog's hair thing. I'm still debating, well, not anymore. I'll add a little bit of a fog bank in there. A little bit of white paint. All right, even if you have to go toward the side here, you know, you test it out a little bit, okay? If you gotta take a lot of it off, take a lot of it off, because you're gonna come across really light, and you're gonna scumble. That is actually a word, yes. You're gonna scumble some. Just like that. You're just pressing it in there. Don't think you can do this all in one shot. You're not going to. Okay. Very little bit. Go light it first. Okay. And then you just press it in there. One of the advantages of acrylic paint. Very, very light, and rub it in there. And you can do this while it's wet. Okay. You add a little force to it. I'm going in a circular motion. Keep going. You're not going to really wear that paint away. That paint's already in the fibers. You got me? And you want it to be thin enough where you can still see a little bit of that mountain back there through that. You got me? Okay. You can give the appearance of it traveling along. You just get a nice little thin band that meets any horizontal band going across there. You can even add, now I'm just using pure paint. You can have, you can add water to this, but then you're gonna start to go into the boundaries of smoke, because titanium white has a chalky residue. So you add water to it and you take it and flip it around and do it. It's gonna look like cigarette smoke. All right, I want more of a cloudy look, which is what you see here. And yes, okay, it's dry. All right. Another advantage of acrylic paint, because if somebody wants to order something, you know, we're in a society now that we want it now. So one of the advantages of acrylic, if you're pretty good at mixing and blending in acrylics, you can pretty much get it done at a reasonable amount of time. With oil paint, it'll come out vibrant and beautiful, but you have to wait about 2 weeks or more, depending on how much paint you use. You follow me? Let's get a little trail here. I'll just rub it right in there. And you can probably hear it through the microphone, along with the TV. I'm not scared to really abuse these brushes. You're not gonna break them. You are gonna spend some money getting some more, but you're not gonna break them. Okay. All right. Just like that. Okay. Okay. Let me show you something. Right now I can do it. We'll take a 1/2-inch brush. Look down here. Let's take some water. Okay. We'll make a glaze. Okay, just water, a little touch of black. Okay. Really watery. Put the black in, see? Really watery. Get some blue in there. Okay. Blue and black already does pretty good with this. Okay. Now, get some more water. Pop that water in there. This is a thin, it's a glaze now. It's just, essentially it's just now watercolor, but you're just using acrylic paint. Okay. All right. Watch how slick this is. Let's look up here. Now we already pretty much know where our dark side is, which is here. You can't get no darker than black. But you can add all sorts of subtle things in the brown here. Okay. See this? He has all sorts of cute little, look at this, look. Okay, and then watch how slick it looks when it dries. You see that? See what it's starting to look? That's that blue and black mix. That's giving you those different types of shades with that brown. Let's go up in here and add some of that in there. Okay. You can take your hand, you can smooth it out a little bit. All right. All up in here, you can darken little bits. Okay. You can deepen up some of that, going between your fog bank there. It brings out your fog a little more too. You know, up to you. Or if you want, you can just glaze the whole thing, fog included. It sets the fog back some. Up to you. You're not going to get rid. If you glaze the fog, you're not going to get rid of it. It won't disappear, but it will be set further back. Okay, so it's really up to you. I would just use a wider brush and just do the whole thing. Okay, but now you see all these general different shadings and stuff that's going on in there. All right, let's go back to our blue. Put the blue right in there, stir it around, get a little bit of black, pop it in there. Matter of fact, let's get some more black, put it in there. Let's get a little bit more blue, make it a little darker there. Okay, add some water to it. Now you got a heavier glaze. It's a darker tone right here. Still the blue and black, but it's a darker tone. Okay, all right, let's play in this here. All right, if you want these to stick out a little bit more, okay, watch what's gonna happen. I'll just kind of pop these guys in there like that. It's colored in there, right in the dark area here. Yeah, just pop them in there. Now remember, you can take your finger and you can kind of smooth all that out. See, you blend it in there yourself. You can do it with a brush too. It's just a little more paint in the water, and it's just a deeper color. But you can kind of play around and travel it all the way down. You can put it up in here. Just like that. Get some more. Don't be scared of using this. All right, wherever you feel it needs to be a little darker. And because of this glaze that's dark, you can use glaze for light areas also. Okay. But because there we go. You see how it's starting to look now, especially when it dries. All right. All right. Get rid of the little booger things here. Do the same thing on the other side. Play around. All up in here. Borrow some. Bring it down in here. Take your finger. Fade it. Smooth it out. No hard edges. No hard edges. Don't do the hard edge thing. A little dot of black. A little dot of blue. Mix it. Get some water. Pop it in there like that. See that? See how quickly you can do this. The advantage of making a glaze using water, once again, it's like you're doing watercolor, but it's not going to turn. It's not going to use it's going to just get darker. Okay, watercolor when it dries, true watercolor, it gets lighter when it dries. It works with the color of the paper. All right, that's kind of its thing. it do what it do. That's watercolor. All right, acrylic, a little different. Even if you saturate it with water like I'm doing, but it's gonna get darker on you. It's just evaporation. It's just the way it's made. Okay, but now you got more natural, odd-looking rock things going on there. Okay. Now, hey Maria, now you can build upon that if you so desire. But once again, there's going to be things in front of this, so I don't really want to go too crazy with it. All right. Okay. Once again, I kind of wanted to stray away from the flowers there a little bit. Okay. All right. I was debating really what I want to do with this, but maybe we'll do a let's see, we got a little bit of gray left. It's about to dry up, but we got a little bit left hanging around. It's all right. Let's use green and that gray, little red, which is the color opposite. So we're using two color opposites on top of a neutral color, basically. Okay, it's gonna turn kind of brown. See? All right, that's cool. That'll somewhat work. We'll play with this. And once again, just like we did the mountains and the rocks and the waterfall, we'll just establish a kind of a path, groundwork. We'll just fill out the area here. Doesn't have to be perfect, and you'll see why in a second. And yes, I'm going outside the edge. It doesn't matter. I'm doing it this way just to build up some texture. Okay, there's a method to my madness. You'll see in a second. It don't matter if I'm going past the other borders of the rocks or whatever I want to put there. It's all right, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, I think we're good here. That's fine. Let's get a little bit of yellow. Isn't that something? Surprise, surprise, I ran out of white. It's all right. A little bit of white in there. That's cool, just like that. That'll work. All right, get a little bit of this mixed kind of yellow brown color, and very lightly. You just do one of these now. Very light. As you can see, you don't have to have it at a perfect angle. You can be a little crooked, left, right, whatever. Okay, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, we're gonna take it and we're just gonna glide right on around, glide it. Now, why am I doing it that way? This paint is gonna pick up what you're sliding across. Okay, and you just do it just like this. Okay, don't be worried about it. Don't be panicky. Don't get nervous. Let it do what it does. It's all right, just like so. Mix it right in there. Just thin out some white, a little strip of white there, and whatever is going to go across, it's just going to go across. It's just going to happen, Captain. Go right across. It's all right. Let it go across. Let it go across. Just like that. Yeah, we're good there. It's all right. That'll be fine. All right. Let's take we'll take a fan brush. Not really. Let's not take the fan brush. Let's get another flat brush. Let's get some more. A little bit of. We'll put the blue right in here. We'll just make it weird green. Get some red, darken it a little bit, just like that. It's just a foundation color anyway. Maybe a little bit of black. We'll darken it up a little bit with a little touch of black. There we go. Just a very little touch of black. When you got something so extreme as black, it's like that old hair commercial, little dab will do you. It is true. Okay. We'll just kind of block some stuff in right in here. I already know what's going to be on the bottom. It doesn't matter at this point in time. We're just blocking this in, block it all in there. And we'll kind of pop some of it in there like that. Okay. Let's grab some more. We'll come on this side. We're kind of pop it in there. A little wider there. And we just, once again, we'll block all this in. Doesn't matter at this point. I am a lefty. Yes, I do paint upside down. It's all right. Just like so. Okay. Okay. You see how everything's starting to kind of flow and come together here? Hashtag don't panic. It'll be okay. All right. Once again, the advantages of using water instead of glycerin is that it dries really fast, and you can kind of continue this thing on and just keep everything moving. All right. Okay. Let's take a little bit of yellow. We'll put it right here. Yeah, well, more than a little bit of yellow. Plenty of yellow. Okay. We'll beef it up with just a slight, and I mean a slight touch of white. I don't want it excessively bright. Okay. We'll try to get some grass in there. And it's just a slight touch. All right. I'll angle the brush downward like this. Here, there you go. Like this instead of straight forward. Angle it downward. All right. And you start off with a slight little touch. See what you got going. Okay, that's cool. I'll do a little patch and go outward. A little patch, go outward. Bring some of that patch in there. Like that. Just like so. Slight little patch. We're going to come downward here. A little hill. Don't cover everything. Gotta get some more. When you get paint loaded on the brush, a light touch will do. Okay. Just like that. Don't overpower all this stuff. That should be enough right there. All right. All right. All right. As I'm checking things out, I'm looking and looking. I believe I can exaggerate a little bit of highlight. We'll use we can use straight white, just a little bit, just to make them pop out and look a little closer to us. Well, yeah, make them stick out a little bit more. So very light, just pure white. And when you're using white like that, just pure white, try to be very sparing with it. Don't do it too much, because it will stick out like a sore thumb. So I just want them to appear to be right in front of things a little bit more. So you're going to use a little more white just to pop them out in front a little bit. All right. I don't want it too much. Be careful doing it on the other side, because you tend to want to do it by the waterfall. You can't, because it's being the light's showing on the opposite side. And I don't need too many of them. Just a little bit. Once again, just a dab will do ya. And I'll probably just more or less keep it like that. Like I say, I don't need too much of it. Okay, remember there's going to be things in front of this. All right, so everything works in steps and stages. You got me? Okay. In here, we'll just put some rocks in there. All right. And of course, for the sake of time, I will probably just use blue and black for its foundation color. Let's get the rest of that black. We'll put it right here and get a lot of that blue. So mix it. Get some more black. Take it right out. Put it right in there. Oh, you know what? Let's throw some red in there, so it won't be too crazy looking. Get some blue. Okay. Now, if it's too reddish, you kill the red by adding green in there. Okay. Now be careful, because if you start adding white to that, it's going to start turning this funky looking gray. But this should be enough, more or less. I'll just add a little bit of water, a little touch of water. This is a 3/4 inch flat brush. It just covers more area. Okay, now you can just take it and, you know, add all sorts of crazy formations of what you want to do with it and just block it in. This color is just blocking it all in. Something deep, something a little darker. Because when it's something this dark, this close, and a little larger, it brings it that much closer. But it also brings your whatever you got in the background that much further back. It doesn't have to be super tall. It just has to be dark. All right. It's funny how there's like psychology in painting, but there is. All right, come up here, pop some of that in there like that. Yeah, we'll just kind of cover it in there. Some of that lighter colors is turning it a little bit grayish, but it's all right. It won't matter. Then I just roughhouse the other stuff because this is just foundation color. It's dark. I'm just, you know, filling it all in. Doesn't matter. Fill it right in. You can decide which one will be in front of the other. It kind of doesn't matter right now at this point. All right. Just trying to mix some heavier color here. And it doesn't matter. Once it starts to dry, it's going to set dark anyway, so don't worry about it. Okay, enough of that. That's cool. Leave it alone. All right, let's have a little fun here. I don't want to put pine trees in this, so I'll do you guys should see it. Let's see where we are here. Yeah, you guys see it. It's at the top of the page here. All right, we'll do some deciduous trees of some sort. I'm going to take a long half-inch brush here. A little touch of water, not much. Just to loosen up the paint. This paint's really, as you can see, it's really thick. I can take this glass palette and turn it upside down. None of this will drip off. It'll stay right there. It's pretty thick stuff. Okay. All right. Let's kind of pop one right here. I'll pull back the camera a little bit. When you're doing a tree, make sure that edge is pretty tight. Okay. So it's a gentle little dance between water and paint to do it. Okay. We'll kind of give it a little long root there, and we'll make it about this thick here. I'm gonna add a little more paint because I don't want the paint to break up. So I'm painting at a weird angle, so the tree might grow out on me, but that's okay. It's starting to do it now, but I'll kind of correct it there. It is growing out on me because it's wider up here and thinner here, so it has to grow a little bit more. Like that, and then come out this way. Before I do anything else, let me fill it in. This is, once again, it's just a foundation color. Obviously the tree won't be that black. I'm doing it this black because basically we'll kind of do some stuff here like that. Now, when I fill it in, I'll look and see how thick it is, how crooked it is, and we do adjustments. All right, okay. I have to pull it back a little bit here. There, that's good. Put the focus on there. All right, we'll tighten up this top end up here. We'll make it pretty tight. Okay. All right, just like that. And we'll kind of spread this guy out a little bit like that. Okay, just like so. Okay, that's one down. There'll be little branches hanging off of it. We'll get it there. I'm just thinking about something here. Let's put a smaller one right in here. Let's see if we can do it in one shot here. I'm just seeing something here. Bit of water. Once again, it's a gentle dance with the water and the paint. Let's move it over a little bit like that. Okay. Different width for Mr. Tree here. It's all right if it looks a little wiggly. I'm painting at an angle. I'll straighten it up. It's okay. Still want it a little thinner because it's a little further away. All right, that's fine. Don't worry about that. When you do something like that and that happens, okay, it's still relatively wet. You just take a slightly wet brush and you just wipe it away. Just like that. It goes away. See? You'll never know what was there. Okay. It goes bye-bye. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we have a little distance, a little depth. This is a little thinner, a little thicker. Okay. All right. But you just don't have just two trees. It doesn't look right. Your eye accepts odd colors or odd numbers. Okay. All right. Let's stretch that out a little bit. Okay. All right. Did I get my coffee warm? I'm not drinking coffee tonight. Jessica, is iced tea. Okay. All right. I'm going to use the 3/4 inch brush because we do have to have a big guy somewhere. And he obviously is going to be around in here. He's going to be the one closest to us. Okay. All right. I'm getting a little water. Going into my black paint here. Coat both sides. All right. Let's see what we got going here. Big tree, big tree. And this is also good to show you once I bring the camera down. Processed black, you know, the black that you buy at the store, and then homemade black, which is what you'll see on the rocks down below. You'll see the stark color change, shift. All right, this guy a little larger. He doesn't have any roots down there. Let's put him here for 1 second. I know you guys get nervous when I paint over other objects in the painting. You'll get used to it. Trust me, you will. Oh my God, he's painting on top of the mountain. You'll be all right. Breathe. You'll be okay. I promise. You'll be okay. You'll be all right. He's a big one though. He is a big one. He's been eating his cereal. As you can see, he's gonna grow here. You need one of, well, you need them of various size to show their depth and their height, their bulk, their size. Everything's in relation to whatever you're painting. Okay. Now, as I'm looking at this, I gotta concentrate on the size, angle, make sure this guy's wide enough. He's still a little wider on the top. So I gotta make him grow out here on the bottom, which is no problem. It's no biggie. Just expand him a little bit, just like that. Okay. And you angle him inward. As long as he's wide and you can angle it in, you're doing all right. Okay. All right. Now you have 3 trees of various size, but look what happens. See all this go further back? Now you got these large dark objects in there. You got me? Okay. All right. Okay. Here, let's turn this downward. And you see the deeper gray, or kind of a mixed black, and then the processed black. Okay, you can see the differences. Even if this was solid and I didn't mix the white in there, it still wouldn't be as dark. If this is just stark dark. Okay, they were not going to stay like this, but it's just a stark, blatant dark right there. All right. Okay, let's go back. Let's turn our attention to the trees here. Okay. As I'm looking at them, we're gonna do something. Let me do this right now. I'm thinking about it, because this is a brush. There's a few of you who've been with me for a while, but there are some who never have. And I have a vast array of brushes. Let me show you one of the brushes I have here. This is good for painting. It's a Chinese long hair brush. Okay, I have 3 of them, various sizes. It's actually a pinstriping brush. Okay. Put it right there. Pinstriping brush. Okay. All right, let's come down here. Put some water in there. And we're going to obviously use black. Now, once again, this is a pinstriping brush, and you'd be surprised how much water this thing can hold. But as you can see, I'm mixing the water in with the black, soaking it right into this brush. I had this brush for a few years. Like I said, I got 3 of them, various sizes. Okay, and you can do very, very tiny, you do very wide. Okay. Okay, and it does hold a pretty decent tip. Be careful with them. All right, we'll add our little branches to these guys. I guess with these, we'll just kind of come downward like this. And then kind of do one of those like that. Now, if it's a little light, then you just get some more of the thicker black paint and put it in there, make it a little darker. I think I'm all right with this one, but I'll do it again. The darker you go with it, really the better. Okay. I'll have one kind of break here. A little thicker there, and it kind of breaks off there, like that. Make them interesting looking. Okay. Oh, we'll kind of pop one here. Like that. You see how thin you can make this? And we'll have it kind of come up this way like that. So you're just adding a bunch of interest to it. I got the leaves kind of going downward. Okay. Instead of going straight across. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, many will. Have one come right across there like that. Like I said, you can always tell if it's a little light, a little thin. Okay, and if it is, you just go back across, add more paint and go right across there with it. Now, the branches can be of a certain height. They don't really have to start. They don't have to start at a certain height. They don't even have to start way down at the bottom. Okay, some of these guys kind of start a little on the tall, you know, higher up. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to, you know, put them there. Let's go with the little fella back here. Little fella, yeah, we'll kind of do things like this with him. Get little wiry things happening. We'll come out here and, you know, like that. Man, we'll have it reach past the other tree. Just make it interesting. Make it, you know, have fun with it. We'll have one come out this way. All right, yeah, like that. And we'll have one here. Have one kind of go that way. Something like that. And like that here. Have them come this way and maybe have one kind of trickle out that way, like that. All right. Just get a little touch of water because I'm going into that thicker paint. Okay, let's make that a little thicker there. We'll have one kind of shoot out that way. Yeah, that's okay. It's good. Now you have a larger tree here. All right, this guy. We'll have his branch kind of come here. He's in front of everybody. He's a kind of a thick branch. All right. Make him nice wide branch. He's got a he's larger tree, larger branch. We'll thicken him up right there. Okay, just like that. I'm really pressing this stuff on there, just like that. And we'll have this little mistake go this way. It's all right. Okay. All right. Since he's closest to us, he's actually in front of this one, and it will make sense. We'll clear the air with this guy. Man. Placement is everything, I tell you. We'll just kind of pop him here. there. Nice thick branch. Okay, like that. All right, we're good. I don't think I have to return to, yeah. Let me show you something with this while I'm thinking about it. Let's get some white. We'll put it right here. I think I got enough green, maybe. If not, we'll just create some right here. I'll show you what this brush can do. Very interesting. I don't know why I don't use this enough. I just don't think about it. All right. Very thin lines you can get with this long-haired brush. You guys should be able to see it. I'm gonna come right here by this tree and I'm gonna just add some. Look at this. Look how thin you can get that. Look at this. Isn't that great? Isn't that cool? And remember, I got 3 sizes of these. Okay. And you have a little fun with it. Have a good time. Just, play around. Get a little bit of water, put it in there. Even back here, has some real thin ones in there. Just like that. Okay, just like that. So, pop them in there. All right, I just wanted to show you what it can do. You rinse it off and you let it naturally air dry. It'll be a-okay, be all right. They maintain their tips, their points, and everything. All right. Okay. While I'm thinking about it, let's go back to our 1/2-inch brush. I think I ran out of blue. No, I got a little bit lingering. A little blue, a little black, and a lot of water. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll go this way with it. Get some nice little shadows there. We have it kind of come around this way. Little tree shadow things going on. All right. Okay. And darken that guy and bring him this way. So we got nice little tree shadows happening there. See how you can do that? All right. I make a little tree lines kind of skating around in there. Like that. Who knows? Little branch, little things going on in there down below. Okay. So I wanted to do that real fast while I'm thinking about it. I remember it'd give a pretty cool effect once it's dry. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, we got a tinge of red. We got some yellow. Pop some white in there. Just like that. Okay, let's take the rest. Let's take this. We'll put it right here. Get some green. Pop some green in that. Get green, a little bit of black. Need more red. Okay. That's more green than I want. Therefore, Now, red and green are opposite each other, so it's going to turn a weird brown as you just keep mixing it. Now, red's a very powerful color. Okay. But it's also got that yellow in there, so we've got this weird orange thing happening. But that's okay. You keep mixing, and you see the color starting to turn that reddish brown. Now, once it starts turning a red brown, you want it a little darker. I'm hoping I got a little bit of black left. Just darken it a little bit with the black. And you don't need too much. Okay, that should be all right. We'll spread it out a little bit, like that. All right, we'll have a little fun with this. Get a little swipe across. Up to you how you want to design your tree. Okay. Yeah, we're good here. All up to you. Little touches here, and you get these little nodules going on here, just like that. And I want them to kind of look like this. So we've got some rough looking fellas. The semblance of bark. Right on the edge of the tree, get as close to the edge of the tree as you can. All right. When you add stuff to paintings, it doesn't have to be ridiculously vibrant, dark, light. All right, make it as mysterious as you possibly can. I am aware of that branch in front of this tree. I'm not scared. I'll get it done. I'm borrowing some and bringing it right to the top here. Okay. I can do the whole width of the tree. It's okay. But wait till you see the highlights. Okay. That's what's going to really wake these guys up. Spread it out. Just do the skinny fill in the back. How you want to detail the tree is truly up to you. Now remember, this is wet on dry, so I can really achieve the effect quicker this way. It takes practice. You know, you get a little nervous about how close to the tree you're getting. Okay. Now remember, your paint is only on the edge of the brush or the edge of the knife. Okay. It's only on the edge. All right, you can see through the shine of the paper. You see it, the reflection of that color. All right, I'm not going to have enough. I'm going to have to make some more. So let's get some green in there. A little touch of red, not as strong. That's good right there. Red is an incredibly strong purple, cad red. Very strong, very powerful color. Be careful. You know, red is a very staining color. You don't need as much. Okay, let's get a little swipe across. Bigger tree. But do the same thing. Just kind of really add it in there. I don't necessarily have to have it. Now it's still showing even above this black. It's still showing there. I'm more interested in the texture than anything. It's light enough to be seen. But once again, you remember these trees are backlit. The sunlight is behind the trees. Okay. But I'm gonna do something a little special just because. It doesn't normally happen this way, but aesthetically it'll look pretty cool. Now obviously you see I'm running out of that color, but that's all right. Get some more red, a lot more green than the red, and mix it again. Just like that. both colors tend to cancel each other out. Now, even though it appears brown, but if you add white to it, it turns a rock gray, bright gray. Okay, it would be a warm gray because of the red in it. Okay. All right. Okay, let's continue the love. I know I'm not online often as I used to be. I got really other things going on. And every time I tend to have things going on, usually I would come on at night, usually about this time or later, which is not really fair because on the weekday people work. You know, I know they like to see it live and all that good stuff. Okay, basically we got our texture. Okay, but watch what I'm going to do before I go to the rocks in the front. See this kind of orangey color here? You see this? Watch this. Watch. Let's do the skinny tree. Be careful. Sometimes with a thin tree, all you need is a little touch. Okay. Okay, you see that brightness that's going on there. Even that is a little thick. Okay, but it's all right. It's okay. We'll have it travel down a little bit and connect. Don't want to connect all of it, but we'll get some of it connect a little bit. Remember, the brighter it is, the less of it you need. Okay. Now the big tree here, you can kind of get away with a little bit more. He's a little closer to us. And you got to, it's a gentle dance with this guy because with any tree, because you really got to get close to that bark on the edge. All right. He gets a little more, he's a little more detailed. I mean, take care of this edge though, real quick here. And see the texture from the other paint that I applied takes care of a lot of this. Very, very lightly. Come on. Join some. Actually, he's a bigger tree. Come on here. Pop a little bit of that love that way for him. He's got that branch here. We'll put the glow on the top. He goes right past this fella here. Goes right across. Okay. And that's how you get rid of, if you went a little too much, just get rid of it like that. No big deal. Okay. All right. Do I got enough to cover the medium guy? I doubt it. So we'll get a little more yellow, a little tiny bit of red. Mix it. That's enough right there. That's too much. Let's thin that out a little better. All right here. Isn't that pretty neat? Very weird, strange glow going on with these fellows. Okay. Let's take a script liner brush or a liner brush. I'm just partial to the script liner brush. We're gonna go into this little bit of color, get a little water. And right on the top here, and that little bit of a glow. I need more white. Let's let it stand out a little bit more. Okay. A little water. Just brighten it up a little bit. Just like that. Okay. Right up in here. Maybe on the larger branch here. We'll do it that way. Up here on the top. Like so. You don't have to highlight every one of them. That won't be necessary. I really don't have to highlight those fellas in the back. Not really. We'll get a little love here. Alright, and like that. Give him a little something here. Alright. Well, look at that. Okay. We got these rocks down here. So let's go down here for 1 second. Before I do that, of course, you know I've always got to add my little, well, actually we have to let that dry. So we'll let it dry. So we'll continue with the rocks. Okay, so we have some rocks down here. Let's get some more blue. We'll put a little bit of blue in these rocks here. And it's just like some slightly glowing shadows for the rocks. And it's the darker blue. We're going to add a slight touch of white to it. All right. I don't have enough black, so we're gonna need a touch of black into the brown. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna pour this stuff right there. Get a little bit of black, a little bit of brown. We'll mix it, and we'll mix it right here. It's so dark, it doesn't matter what else is in there. Okay. Slight touch of white in there. Nope, that's good actually. I'll keep mixing it. Okay, go slightly across, and we're gonna start to just kind of pop this love in here with these rocks right in here. Just like this. Okay. This is a very disturbing brown gray, and it's fine. There's no glycerin, it's just me and this raw board. And it's okay, because remember it's just more texture than anything else. I'm gonna use blue on top of some of this. And I'm not getting rid of all of that color that I've put, that soft mixed black mix here. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna take some of this. This might be a little too. We'll see. I still want it a little deep. That should be okay. That should be all right. All right. And right behind this rock, not on top, but behind, slightly behind it here, we'll add. Get some of that out of there. We'll add very lightly. Just pop it in there. Right in here. Same thing. It's just practice, Madonna. That's all. You gotta understand that I was where you guys were. Okay, I didn't know a thing about all this painting, and I learned really from Bob Ross, and then from there, I went, you know, elsewhere. Other artists learned different things, you know. Let's get a little bit of white, and I'll put it with the brown. I'll mix it right in here. I'll thin it out there. I don't have to have it super day glow bright, but just sneak in a few little highlights up there, because even in the shadow they got a little bit of residual light, and so we'll tease a little bit of that, but just a slight touch of that stuff. Right up in here. It's just a little separation. I don't want it, once again, too bright. Just a slight edge where you would maybe see a little bit of highlight, but not too much of it. Maybe around in here a little. Sometimes it's just a line like that, just to give just a little bit, just to know that they are there. You got me. All right. I think this is almost just about dry enough, so we can get away with it a little bit. I remember I told you about if you add a little water to white, you get that kind of a film thing happening. Okay. So we'll wet this little brush, get a slight touch of white, very small. Can you guys? Yeah, you guys can see this perfectly. You see what it looks like here? See this? See that? That's what it's going to look like. You have to be extremely careful. If you have to wipe a bunch of it off on a piece of towel or a brush or something. All right, you see that? That's what it's going to look like. All right, so it's your bravery test all over again. All right, but it's more see-through than that. Okay, and so we'll just kind of take it just like this, and we'll kind of wisp it around. Okay, sometimes it's pretty much like a one-off. Be careful. I'm just gonna fade out the edges a little bit, but you see it has that look of smoke going on there. All right, I gotta be careful, because when you go across the orange, of course it's gonna look kind of orange. You just kind of pop it up with white, but if it's too orangey like that, you just get rid of it. It's all right. Make it disappear, no problem. Get a little more white, pop it in there. Just be careful, or you just use your finger. I'll just kind of tap it around here like this. But as you see, once it dries, okay, it's got that kind of look to it, even more so than that. I'm gonna go right across this tree here. Okay, because it's in front of the tree. All right, don't go past that tree, or in front of that tree, excuse me. You just go past the tree. Go past the tree and you add some of that love right in there. Okay, add a little height. Add a little height to it. little height to it going across. Okay. So you can do all sorts of little tricks with it. You got one going in front of this tree. This one's actually behind the tree, but it's going in front of that one. All right. So you're still establishing distance. You do all sorts of tricks. All right, I think that's enough of that now. Let's get a little bit of red. I don't usually sign on red. Usually. I'll put it right here. I'll take the tape off. I'll pull this back. I'll make this thing right here disappear. All right. Did my TV shut off? Yes, it did. I appreciate you guys sticking around, watching me do this. Like I said, I don't do it too often anymore because I really have something else I gotta do. I keep saying that I gotta really push myself to doing it. I think what stops me is that once I get into it, I'm gonna enjoy it like I used to, and then I'm, gonna want to do more of them. But we'll see. Actually, we'll see how it's perceived once it's done. Either I still got it or I don't. This is the 5th month. All right. Yeah, Bill Alexander, awesome guy, but he scared me. He was too loud. I was young. He was just, I don't know, that dude there was scary. But as I got older, I realized his genius. Guy was great. All right, let's get rid of this. We're done with this. All right. You're welcome, Travel Dreamer. Once again, no glycerin. Just acrylic paint and water. So this is like 90% dry. I started out doing stuff like this, and once I discovered the Jenkins and started doing florals, it appears like I'm more known for the florals than anything else. But I guess that's all right. That's cool. It's good to be known for something, right? But this stuff is pretty much near and dear to my heart. I tend to not find myself not really doing too many of them. I can teach it, but I really don't do much of it. Okay, for those who've been with me through the beginning, as you can see, the mountains are back there. Okay, they got their little somewhat detail, but they're not really highlighted. I used the black itself for the shadow of the mountains, but they didn't need to be highlighted. The sun's in the back. Okay, as you can see, we got depth with the clouds because of the dark bottoms. All right, we even got some cloud play in the yellow. Okay, we even got one playing around up in there. Okay, which brings that further back. All right, mountains and the rock and the falls further back. The fog or the mist helps that out. Okay, the mist helps out bringing the mountain even further back. The 3 trees obviously brings all of that background even further back. Okay, we establish aerial perspective with the mist because you got the mist in the back going straight across behind the trees, but you got a layer that's behind one tree but in front of the other one. But you got the bottom layer in front of this one, behind this one, and yet in front of that one. So it still establishes that your foreground, which is actually the trees, but they're tall, they're kind of thick, but they actually are foreground or midground, excuse me, midground objects, along with the rock waterfall. But your foreground's got these boulders in the front, down here in the bottom, which they're large enough and dark enough to push even the trees back a little bit. So there's a little bit of composition and psychology that goes into making these paintings. Okay, and just remember odd numbers. Remember odd numbers. Okay. Okay. So I think that's really it. I do believe it's in focus here. Okay. You guys know the deal. It's only a little bit after 11. Oh, go ahead, Maria. I understand. Trust me, I understand. No problem. Like I said, I do this at an ungodly hour. So, and you're an hour behind me, so I do understand, because it's a little bit past a quarter after 11. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. You know the deal. I'll take a picture of this. It'll be posted on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if I'll do it tonight. I may, but I highly doubt it. It might be tomorrow morning. So, but thank you guys. I appreciate you.